An intro to LEED, the Ecology Center on the move. As our population increases, so does the demand for more buildings and likewise more construction. The construction industry has a history of sending most of its demolition materials into dumpsters and then into landfills. And
our buildings in the United States use a lot of energy.
Fortunately, the trend to sustainable building design and construction is gaining popularity. The U.S. Green Building Council has invented a rating system known as LEED, which measures and promotes sustainable building and design.
There's a range of options. It's a rating system, so it has a point value to it. You can get certified, silver, gold, or platinum with your building. Those are the 4 levels.
Certified, 40 to 49 points, silver, 50 to 59 points, gold, 60 to 79 points, and platinum, 80 points and above.
And the original intent of some of the green building movement was to decrease the amount of energy our buildings needed in order to function the way we want them to function. LEED also takes on as a very important component a variety of other issues. For example, site issues. That includes everything from where you locate your building and a dense urban core with connections to public transit, stormwater management on site, and stormwater quality on site, which is a big deal, and things like light pollution reduction. Another major component is water. So water use reduction is what it boils down to, both in what you consume inside the building, basically your toilets, your sinks, and what you consume outside the building, which is primarily your irrigation systems. The other major category is materials and resources. That has to do with thinking about the types of materials you're building your project out of. Do they contain recycled content? Are they manufactured regionally? Are the materials extracted regionally? And by regional, the limit that the LEED rating system uses is within 500 miles of the project site. And the last major category is indoor air quality. Both bringing in an adequate amount of fresh air to your space for human comfort, and also limiting the amount of kind of nasty things you use in your building. People are LEED accredited. That's the language they use. Buildings are LEED certified.
The USBC publishes thorough publications detailing the point qualification requirements in each of the considered categories. Much consideration and time goes into the execution and documentation throughout a project.
They do internal reviews themselves, and they also farm out some of the reviews to some other organizations like NSF, who they've trained and tested to do the review work for them.
Let's take a look at the process of becoming a LEED certified building.
We started thinking about this almost 4 years ago when we realized that this space was going to soon be too small for our needs. The building that we work in, our office, should express the values of the organization too. And to that end, we wanted a really green building.
Our original goals were pretty broad in terms of looking at a wide range of sustainability issues, energy efficiency, as well as making the space a quality work environment in terms of thermal comfort, energy efficiency, daylighting, having adequate light, and making it a very productive, healthy workspace.
It would be as environmentally responsible as possible. And that's what led us to seriously consider the LEED certification.
The Ecology Center developed a team of local architects, contractors, LEED experts, and U of M graduate student interns to develop and execute the project. It takes a collaborative team to oversee and facilitate this multifaceted office relocation. Weekly meetings were held to discuss construction options, LEED documentation and interpretation, budgeting, and updates on the progress.
I'm the registered architect on the project, and I was focusing a lot on the energy efficiency improvements and the daylighting, as well as the green components. I've done green buildings since long before they called them green buildings. This is actually the first project that I've actually done that they're actually going through the LEED process.
The philosophy of what I do and what a lot of people I've worked with is really using the team approach to come up with the solutions that are the most beneficial to the whole organization.
It was a great chance for me to be on the other side of the table, actually putting together the documentation, helping, coordinate everything and make some kind of decisions and then sending that back to USGBC for a decision.
You don't think you can get the water credit? What are the restrooms like in the joint part of the facility?
I wonder if there's not a method to recycle a material that you have. Are you accountable for recycling that?
But if you take a door that could potentially go in the garbage and reuse it somewhere in the office, that's reused.
Right.
The intent of the credit is divert from landfills.
And while LEED allows you to get credit for landfill diversion, we've taken that a step farther and said we're not only going to keep material out of the landfill, we're going to recover the material and reintegrate it back into the project.
Said that they were hoping to do some interesting things with recycled materials and trying to keep everything LEED certified. And so I asked him if he was interested in getting the students involved.
John's furniture design students were met by members of the team, including architects Connie and Wayne, the first day of the class to get an understanding of the scope of the project and, likewise, the role of the students. The students then came up with a variety of concepts and arrangements for the office furnishings, primarily the desks in the open space, and presented these ideas at a design charrette to the team and a group of Ecology Center staff.
These two surfaces made from recycled 2x6s and 2x4s. Legs, like I said, are made out of sprinkler pipe.
The lumber used to construct the desks was originally in the drop ceiling joist in the new location. They were carefully removed and hauled into temporary storage, where Ecology Center volunteers later removed nails and other hardware. Then the lumber was loaded up into a van and brought to the students at EMU. With the final design, the skilled students crafted over 20 new, but reused desk surfaces.
And that was made by taking a bunch of these square pieces that we cut and planed from the 2x4s and 2x6s. So we cut them all like this, and then laminated them together into a bigger piece like this, and then took 3 or 4 of these wider pieces and glued them together into this big surface right here.
While observing Professor DeHoog's class, I was fortunate enough to witness the gluing process of one of the desktop surfaces. With many clamps and a lot of glue, it was a messy job. But the students didn't seem to mind it that much.
Something that's kind of unusual that they did in terms of reuse is the carpet. It was not a carpet that necessarily goes back to the company that made it. And it's rare to actually find people who will take old carpet from buildings and reuse it.
In addition, hundreds of feet of data cable was salvaged from the site to be reinstalled. Baseboard trim was removed and stored to be used again in the new site. Kitchen cabinetry from the original site will be reused, as well as interior glass windows and doors. Even a few electrical boxes were reused and relocated, while masses of scrap metal was also recycled.
We have added quite an assortment of skylights to the space so that it will be largely daylit.
Also, the design was done with the sense of how can we take out as little as possible and put in the landfill and still create a dynamic space. I think typically a designer would have come into this and they would have really gutted the whole thing.
Meetings continue as the project gets closer to completion, and as with any project of this kind, new ideas and new obstacles continue to arise.
Does the owner have any information about when it was last coated, what it was coated with?
I don't know.
It'd be worth asking.
We have to make decisions about heights of things, so that's the first thing. We have to make a decision about placement of things, that's the second thing.
As decisions are made, construction continues at the new site. The Ecology Center will be moving into their new green LEED certified building later on this summer.
We wanted this in part to be a model for other commercial office tenants.
They're doing a great job. They are not doing a platinum level job. They are doing a silver, maybe gold level job.
LEED is a really wonderful thing.
Be sure to stop by 339 Liberty this summer and check out the Ecology Center's new LEED office. Let's take a glance at some other leaders at U of M.
We serve as the link between the academic and the operational arms of the university on sustainability, so we work really closely the Office of Campus Sustainability, which is housed on the operations side, to help see how we can get some of the top-notch faculty involved. One primary example of that is the university's recent commitment to green buildings. So the university now has a policy that all major new construction and renovation, major I believe is defined as over $10 million, which is actually almost everything the university does, have to meet a minimum of LEED Silver requirements. It's a new policy. We currently have 2 LEED certified buildings on campus, with the Children's Mott Children's Hospital is very likely to be the 3rd.
One of the 2 LEED certified buildings on campus is the School of Natural Resources building, the Dana building.
Of course, we tried to reuse other materials besides the structure of the building as much as possible, including refinishing doors and also repainting and reinstalling some chalkboards. We have oil around the base of the urinal that's lighter than our human waste, so when the urine passes through, the oil stays on the surface.
Like the Ecology Center, the Dana building utilizes natural skylights overhead, alleviating the need for energy-consuming interior light fixtures.
And the roof was removed for the whole new 4th floor, so instead of getting rid of all this nice wood, which is 100-year-old southern yellow pine, we were able to remill it, and we got about 10,000 board feet of lumber. All the carpets we chose are 100% wool, and we chose that because of its qualification as a low VOC material under LEED.
The Dana building's innovative and sustainable design won many awards and a LEED Gold accreditation in 2005. And with U of M's new LEED Silver building policy, it appears Dana will have some new LEED friends in the near future.